Now, Elon Musk has received a potential boost in his legal battle with Twitter. A whistleblower has accused the social media company of egregious deficiencies in its handling of spam bots and user information. Well, joining us now is Alex Webb from Bloomberg. Quick take. Alex, we had a great roundup yesterday of Jack Dorsey being subpoenaed, and now there's like whistleblower accusations. How does that impact the legal battle?
So it doesn't seem to help his accusation to do with bots, the idea that Twitter has intentionally or knowingly misstated the number of bots on the platform. The way that it might help is that there's a suggestion that maybe Twitter isn't as secure as it purports to be. And if that's the case, then perhaps Elon has the opportunity to pivot and say, well, let's forget about this bots thing. This safety thing is a material adverse effect. That's the key term here. Is there something which gives him an opportunity to back out the deal? So that would be the kind of possible weakness it creates.
So at the same time, Elon Musk also has to hand over information.
Yes, and like that's going to be fascinating as well to see some of that personal correspondence, although sometimes you kind of...
This is SMS? No, or DMs?
We don't know. Presumably, all of that, anything is possible, although sometimes it seems as though Elon just expresses himself on social media, so who knows whether he would have said anything different in private. Personally, I find the discovery amidst all of this fascinating. You know, what's in Jack Dorsey's correspondence, what's in Elon Musk's correspondence, because what sort of the super wealthy say behind the scenes can often shed a huge amount of interesting light.
So will this be public information, or is this just for the courts, I think, in like a smaller state in the US?
Well, it depends what the
information says,
what the Twitter legal team decides to release and what Elon's legal team also decides to release, I think, that and what gets then submitted to the court, you know, for their consumption. So it's not an automatic assumption that everything will become public, but elements of it may well do.
So there's also a Tesla stock split, which used to be, you know, very enticing, but now because of the Twitter conundrum, like it kind of taking a bad step, but it's a big deal.
Well, yeah, and there's certainly the hope when you do these sort of stock splits, it's really about addressing retail investors at the moment, and we've seen stock splits from Amazon, did a Google 20-to-1 stock splits. These are sizable ones. Tesla won't be quite on that scale. It's going to be a 3-to-1 stock split. But the idea is that, you know, people who with the stock at $650, something like that at the moment, go, well, that's a little bit pricey. I could maybe afford $200 and buy one or two shares. And so it creates an opportunity for some investors to get involved who might not otherwise do so. And given the appetite over the past few years, that might have an effect. Equally, are the sort of people who are retail investors going to have that capital given the inflationary context? It may not be quite as easy.
Alex, I read this crazy story, and I've read some pretty crazy stories today on the Bloomberg terminal, but this is amazing. Like there's such Tesla mania, I think, in Korea, that people are actually selling their flats, renting, to make sure that they take advantage of this.
I haven't seen that story.
Okay, it's a great story.
I will check it out. It sounds wonderful. I'll check it out.
And it's basically saying like people are indebting themselves by like $200,000 just to make sure that they get a piece of the action. Alex, as always, thank you so much for making us smarter on that. Alex Webb there from Bloomberg. Quick Take.